Even through the valley of the shadows, I know you are with me wherever I go. Even in the moments I can't see, I know you have always been for me.
I know I'm not in this alone. One heart to another, I pray that we understand that we can write out what we think is sufficient, but he's orchestrated a.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tuesdays 10. Today's episode is called Loving Through Adversity. Basically, we're going to be talking about loving each other through adversity, obviously. We're going to talk about loving each other when you're really upset and you don't feel like loving each other. The basis really is just to love each other no matter what. And all the things that you can do to make sure that happens, to try to love each other through the BS.
Pain is hard, and when you go through these things, it's absolutely terribly hard. You're triggered first of all because you're angry, and you kind of think in the mindset that they're doing this. They know me. They should know better. That's always the kind of the angle we come from, and it's very true.
But also, you should know better.
Yeah, exactly. You should know better. They should know better. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, that's what we do. We always say they should know better, and we get upset, and we have to learn to love through it. And there's ways that you can do it, and also better ways to lean on things that they're good roadmaps, stars that lead you to a thing. So yeah. I
know that one of the things I see often now on TikTok and Facebook and everything is people are talking about loving themselves. Everything's about, love yourself, do more for you. But where's the love your spouse? Love your spouse, do more for them. And also, where's the hold yourself accountable? Hold yourself accountable.
Self-accountability, it's a big thing.
Everything we're seeing now is, hey, point out their flaws of what they're doing. See what they did, they should do better. No, you should do better.
You should do better.
You have what's going on in their minds and what they do is none of your business. Stay in your lane and fix yourself.
And also to go with that is be what you want. Be what you want. Be what you want. Yeah.
But you need to not just be what you want. You need to be who you need to be and have your identity in Christ.
You didn't catch that. I'm telling people to be self-responsible.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
To be what they want.
Yeah.
Basically, you have to become the person that you want in your spouse. So if you're not actively trying to be that person, it's going to show through y'all's actions and through y'all's time and through the things that you go through. You have to become that person first before you receive that person or that reaction from her.
I got one.
I'm trying to be all like this, but
no, I got it. Life Jennings said, "Don't be a nickel out there looking for a dime."
Exactly. What are you saying? One more time.
Don't be a nickel out there looking for a dime.
Thank you.
Okay, so what you had something?
So just basically, your partner, treat them and treat anger. Anger is the biggest thing. That's one thing we always have to face going through life with a partner is anger. Anger is always the thing that throws us off. And it's very true. You have to treat anger like any other place or circumstances. Treat anger in itself like the grocery store, like the library, like a football game, like your child's violin recital. It doesn't matter. It's a place at the time. It's not the end all be all. It's not the end of everything. So what you have to do is when you're in those atmospheres, anger is an atmosphere. So learn to treat it accordingly. And also treat it like a freaking woman who's hitting on you or a man that's hitting on your woman. The deal is the spouse's responsibility is to, when it starts hitting on you, to turn it away. Don't choose the anger. Don't choose the angle of the anger. Always look at the purpose. Look at the things that they're speaking into. Are you listening to help? Are you listening to harm or defend? You have to ask yourself the questions.
And choose to respond, not react.
Exactly.
And I'd say that again. you make a choice and choose to respond instead of react.
Yeah, don't do what I did earlier today. Life is life. So what you got there?
All right, so in talking about ways that you can love your spouse through adversity, you can choose to be water and practice positivity. Yeah, speaking of water. You can choose to be water. You most definitely need to choose to be water. You're not always going to agree on everything, but you absolutely know when it's going too far and when you're not reaching one another, and when you're just so angry that nobody's hearing anyone. You need to choose to be water. And one of the ways that you can choose to be water is by, in not just when you're angry, but the rest of your time that you're breathing, practice positivity. You have to practice being positive. And so if you practice being positive and you've got your brain in a positive place all the time, you can choose to be water so much easier when you're in a situation where anger is afoot.
And stop telling yourself it's corny. Stop telling your spouse it's corny. Stop telling yourself that it's inauthentic. No, it is authentic if you choose it. Mm-hmm. What you choose in your relationship is what becomes authenticity.
Absolutely.
And if you choose to be better, then freaking run with it. Quit trying to say, oh, it's corny or it's whack. No, you're choosing positivity on purpose. There's a reason behind that. Choose your words better. Are your words promoting life or are they promoting death in your spouse?
Exactly.
What are they doing for her? What are they doing for her nature? What are they doing for her life and how she feels about things?
Mm-hmm. And that whole corny thing is just another way to be prideful and to make excuses, which is my next thing here. Stop making excuses and stop shifting blame. You can't, we understand that people go through things, and sometimes we are a product of our environment when we're raised. We're a product of our environment. Maybe some people through their past relationships.
They're raised.
Yeah.
How we were raised. It's a whole thing.
That's probably the main thing for most people, being a product of the environment they were raised in. So one of the ways that you can battle that to stop making excuses is, instead of saying, I can't help it, this is the way I was taught, this is how I was raised, you know what I went through, you can say, hey, I'm sorry, I recognize that I did this, and I know that I went through some things, but that's not necessarily an excuse for me. I need to work on that, because just FYI, in case nobody knew, there's a point in time at which when you leave your parents, you become responsible for yourself. And that includes changing the way that you think and choosing to do better for yourself, for those around you, and for God.
Take responsibility.
Take responsibility. Absolutely. You have to take responsibility for your actions.
It does so much for your other spouse.
To take for your other spouse.
I'm thinking like I got a whole side chick, but
for the other person and for your spouse, you just mix it together.
Thank you. Exactly. I try to run things together, but it does a lot for them to hear you say, "Yo, babe, I'm wrong." Learn to admit I'm wrong. Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. Stop trying to shift the blame. Learn to say more in your relationship, "Yo, my bad. That's on me." Let's keep it a whole 100%.
It's called taking the road less traveled, because when you take the easy way, shifting the blame and making excuses is the easy way out. And it's really not easy when you look at it. It just feels easy to you because you don't want to admit anything. When you're wrong, you have pride and you don't want to say I'm wrong, or you don't want to, even though you know you're wrong, you don't want to be wrong, or whatever. It's not even the easy way out, because obviously you're making your marriage harder by doing that. But
not wrong. Marriage is basically just like salvation, man. We have to come to terms and admit, God, I've been wrong. It's the same thing in your relationship.
Absolutely.
And then it sets things straight for you to confess with your mouth and believe with your heart a certain thing. Things get, or not get better, or they do get better, but you start traveling towards that. You're headed, if anything, you're headed in driving in the right direction. That's a fact. There's no takeaway from that. marriage is always parallel to salvation. And we always forget that. Marriage is parallel to salvation. Marriage is parallel to salvation. Don't ever forget that.
Absolutely. The next thing that I believe is important in basically loving your spouse through adversity, getting through that adversity together and loving each other, is to have empathy and know your spouse's heart. I can't say that more, because it's way too easy to assume bad of your spouse when honestly maybe they're just going through something and they are hurt, and maybe they're the ones at the moment that are making excuses because they're hurt. Who knows what the situation is. But no matter what the situation is, and when you're trying to be able to practice positivity, you need to think about having empathy for your spouse and what the real reason for what they're going through is. What they're really just trying to express. They're just expressing that they're hurt about something. And some people express hurt differently. Some of it's anger, some of it's just, shifting the blame to the other, saying, hey, it wasn't really me. Who knows? There's all sorts of ways. But know your spouse's heart and have empathy for them. I don't think any of us really think that our spouses that we chose to marry, nobody chooses to marry someone that they think has it out for them. I don't think any of us believe that our spouse has it out for us. I'm not waking up and going, hey, so I'd like to mess your day up today. So
Yeah, who wakes up and says, I just want problems?
yeah,
Nobody
I
does that,
never.
man.
We get angry. We both get angry. I've never in my life ever thought that he woke up and just said, "I'd like to mess her day up. Let me ruin her day real quick." That's not the case. He doesn't have any harm out for me just as much as I don't have any harm out for him. And in that moment, we have to believe that and tell ourselves that and trust that, and just know that it's something we're going to get through, and that we just need to love one another in that moment, even if the other one's having a hard time loving you. Love them back anyway.
Men, once again, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate, man. We as men, we have a very big problem with responding to disrespect with anger, just bad anger, just bad vibes.
So reacting.
We overreact. We have to keep that in check. We have to be quick to listen, so to speak, and so to get angry. We have to remind ourselves of the word that
and a lot of that is because of women being, and it's not to say anything that everybody's got emotions, but a lot of women respond emotionally, naturally, not even like they're trying to be. And it's not like the stereotypical let's make fun of women for being so emotional, but it just naturally is that women are mostly more emotional than men, at least forwardly.
I get it if she swing on you, but at the same time, with great power comes great responsibility. If she just using her words, man, get out of there. Get out of the room, man. Learn to walk away and learn. And also the woman should, maybe I say this lately, learn to give the man the space, because we are raised as physical human beings. We're not raised to be hands off. We're raised to be hands on. So if it goes on too long, it could be bad. And you need to learn when to get away. And you need to choose flight.
It's on both sides.
You don't fight your woman. You don't put your hands on your woman. If you stay in there too long, you're going to do that. Learn to get some space. Go see your best friend if you got a brother that's close. If you got anything, a deacon, a pastor. Bro, if you even got a full-blown atheist, I don't care. But don't put hands on your lady. Don't do that.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
And ladies, I don't care how right you think you are. Stop following that man around when he's trying to breathe and get some space so that doesn't happen. Leave that silence in there. Stop following him. If he's doing his part to try to step away because he sees it's going somewhere bad and we're not getting anywhere and all we're doing is butting heads, so I need to go over here and calm down because I know I'm getting too mad, do not follow him and try to scream your point of view in his face while he's trying to get away so it doesn't get bad. I've seen relationships like that. I've absolutely seen. I've seen people. I think I've seen at least 3 divorces based on just that. Literally.
You can't provoke him to anger. In the same way we can't provoke our children to anger, we ain't supposed to provoke anybody to anger.
No.
The man can't provoke his children, his wife, or anybody to anger.
Don't
That also applies to the women, to the man. You can't provoke us to anger. And when we are physical beings, you need to give us our space, man. I mean, just
You can push anyone over the edge like that.
don't get me wrong.
Anybody,
But
man or woman.
let's go ahead and read Ephesians, Demon.
No, I got you. Here,
Ephesians 4. We got the scriptures for you. Ephesians 4:26 through 32.
All right. It says, "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil." Sorry, excuse me. "Let him who stole steal no longer, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, that he may have something to give him who has need. Let no corrupt word proceed out of your mouth, but what is good for necessary edification, that it may impart grace to the hearers. And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, by whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you, with all malice, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you." I'm going to read that part again. "And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you."
And all I hear, the biggest part I hear from that is be intentional.
Intentionally make the choice.
Exactly
to do better.
To do better. Because if you want to read it, you can go through it again. The verses will be posted in the video, but it tells you or promotes you or what's the word? Activates you, encourages you, encourages you to be better. And you have to choose that, and you also have to be cognitive of it, self-aware of it. You can't just, no, it's not going to happen. It's going to only be happening if you're looking for it. But you will be human of it and subject to human nature if you do not if you're not on guard for that stuff. You have to be on guard to be kind. You have to be on guard to be loving to your spouse and all that good stuff. You got anything else?
Yes, I actually have a couple more things, and I'll run through them real quick. One of the ways that you can love through adversity is by putting your mind in and developing a growth mindset. By having a growth mindset, you're automatically going to apply practicing positivity, being water, not making excuses or shifting blame onto your spouse or onto your childhood, traumas. Traumas are valid.
Traumas are very valid. It's a thing,
but you need to hold yourself accountable and learning to shift away from that, to do better and to heal. You can't blame everything on your parents your whole life. Once you move out, it is your responsibility to start learning to heal and to move forward and to love yourself and to love your spouse. And if you can't do that, don't get into a relationship until you know you're ready, and you know what I mean?
But when you are in a relationship,
should you find yourself in that situation, you need to do some soul searching and work on you so that you can be better for your marriage and that you can heal your marriage too.
Yeah, a relationship, nothing starts to end. Things start to keep going. So work on yourself. Love yourself and also love your spouse.
Absolutely. Don't focus on yourself too much as far as loving yourself, though. We see that all over the internet. We're kind of like, yes, love yourself, but you really also need to love your spouse, and you need to love other people. That's one of God's commandments. It's love God and love people. It's His greatest commandments, really. Love God and love people. Laugh a little. Laugh a lot. You definitely need to learn to laugh. If you don't have any joy in your relationship, it's going to be really hard to love each other. It's going to be really hard to love each other through adversity. Yeah, no, I can never English. Okay. Be selfless
Serve each other. Like
Absolutely.
we said this in the first video.
Yeah.
You
You gotta be selfless. You gotta love each
serve
other.
your spouse.
Serve one another. And we're not saying serve in like in a negative point of view. We say serve as in like, hey, if you see your spouse comes in and they're having a bad day, hey, what can I do for you? Is there anything I can do to help you? Would you like me to get you a glass of water?
How was your day at work?
Do you need me to get your candles lit up or something? You you want to run your essential oils? Can I run you a bath? Is there anything I can do? You want to unload on me? Give it to me. What's going on?
Right.
Tell me. Be selfless. Don't focus on yourself. You see that they're going through something. Absolutely be there for them in every way that you can, because this is your life partner.
It's being water. You're seeing the thirst. You're seeing the need. It's being water. Everything that we've been talking about all ties into the thing, and that's why you have to learn to be water. And all this stuff is also biblically supported. You have to learn to be different, man. You have to go against your nature. Our nature is always to protect ourselves and always be so defensive. But you got to get away from that. You have to step away from that. You have to step away from the only way you can step into a relationship is step into loving somebody else. It's basically stepping into their shoes. Mm-hmm. You have to understand where they're coming from. You have to, and the only way that you can do that is being more quiet, being
quick to listen,
slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have to step into their shoes, step into their ways, step into their path, see where they see things from the point of view that they're seeing them.
And it's absolutely really, really hard to listen to your spouse and see their point of view and be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry if you're sitting there in your own mind and your own thoughts and all you can think about is woe is me, when the reason that y'all got there in the first place is because somebody was hurt somewhere or somebody was frustrated with something. And somebody that desperately needs your love or is craving your respect or whatever it is. It's really hard to do the right thing when all you can think about is yourself instead of being selfless. Not selfish. All right. And the last thing was something I actually heard on 90.9 today that really kind of stood out to me, because I know there's a lot of people who are going through some major hardships in their relationship, and there's some people, even though our thing right now is to bring relationships back together, to help people hold on to their relationships, to heal their relationships, to encourage people to do better. That's what we're here for. But we know that there's absolutely what's that?
Yeah, and 90.9 KCBI.
Yeah.
I want to give full credit to those people.
Oh, yeah,
because they speak like a multitude into this relationship that you're watching right now.
Oh, they do. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's okay to be tired.
I'm still a human.
I'm tired as a mug too. I don't even know why I'm wearing these glasses. I guess I wanted just to be looking cool in the jersey with those glasses and stuff. But I am tired, man. I am so tired.
But what I was saying was that we know that there are people who absolutely are in relationships that may have to end. And even though we're trying to prevent so much divorce, we know that there's a lot of actual hardcore real adversity out there. And one of the things I wanted to say to those people who are suffering is HOPE, HOPE. And the acronym I heard for that was hold on, pain ends. So when you're going through hardships,
this too shall pass.
yes, exactly.
This
hold on,
too,
pain ends.
hold
this
on,
too
shall pass. Man, we have to make an intentional purpose to stick it out.
Yeah.
Go for the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make it a sprint. It's a marathon. Marriage is a marathon. You have to work. You have to finish that race. And we do get it. There are exceptions, which we've already gone on through other videos. But for the most part, for the little stuff, man.
Almost every marriage can be saved.
What's the acronym one more time?
HOPE, HOPE, hold on.
Pain ends. This too shall pass.
Yep.
This is not forever. And that's a wrap. That in a nutshell concludes everything. We love you guys,
and thank you for watching Tuesdays 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Almost lost that. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Yeah, have a good night. Bye bye.